back in time to the 60s and I start a boy band, we will do covers of popular songs now, but like doo-wop versions of those songs, and I would call us Bobby and the Pins.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. We just need something catchy to replace the Suzanne Experience, because you guys did me proud coming up with that one. Who came up with that? That sounds like it was an Alex thing.
Probably.
I don't remember.
We will be known as the Queens of the Stone Age. Wait a minute. Shit.
Mm.
I haven't been able to stop drawing.
Drawing?
Yeah, I started drawing Batty now. I did her father.
Yeah, Nikki's been in a drawing rampage the past 2 days.
I've been on a crafting rampage, making these tiny little people.
Aw, yay! So we go tiny little town.
Hello, phone.
Oh, I loved. I don't know if anybody did this back in elementary school. You should have, but you take the popsicle sticks and you make little furniture.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Then I would make little furniture for like my hamster.
Aw.
Like here's a little picnic table and like here's a little chair that you can't sit properly in it, but you know what? Like you can stand next to it and
Or stand on it.
And then I put his little food on the picnic table.
I
love eat it, and like he would sit upright, so it looks like he's sitting at the table. And I made a little slide.
Oh, I gotta get the music ready.
Yep.
Music!
Hey, you did better than me. Usually I realize I forgot the usually I realize I gotta get the music ready when I'm about to click local record. Because my plan is local record and then hit play, and it's like...
See, I made desktop icons so that I could click it before all the windows were open, but now all the windows are open.
Yeah. Yeah, we had all the windows open. For all weekend. It's been chilly out.
Oh no, I meant my computer windows, but but that sounds nice.
Grandma, click that button to open a window. I don't want to open a window. It's too cold to me.
And then we had the one, easily opened window down here, open with a fan in it and another fan going, and we were just sweating. You go upstairs and it's like 20 degrees cooler.
Yeah, that's always how it is.
And so it was like, I can't believe I'm saying I'm turning the air conditioning on when it's 65 outside, but I'm turning the air conditioning on. Because I just couldn't take it anymore.
I have a speech to get ready on Wednesday. I didn't get it ready.
A speech, you say?
Yeah.
What for?
For my class. I don't have to hand in a written
cancel. Why?
speech.
No. Sorry, VLC was trying to take hold of my computer.
Yep.
Well, you take your time just making a little me.
Yay, active chat. Hi, guys.
Hi, chat.
Is anybody watching? Oh, look at that.
It's active chat. Hello, Sally. Hello, Ashley.
Mike, you'll get this.
We're good, Ashley.
I'll get
Thank
this.
you.
This is what happens when you try to stop when you try to stop the tide from turning. Thanks, Darkest Dungeon.
Thanks, memes.
Mike. Ow. That's beautiful.
I sold a copy of that to Eric last night. He's like, wait, what's...
Wants to hear an offensive joke.
He had never played Darkest Dungeon before?
No.
I think he would have, but no.
No.
Oh. Well, if we ever show... Okay, so I've been playing Inquisitor Martyr all day today. And all night last night.
Yeah, I played it a little last night.
You got it?
Yeah, Chrissy fell asleep, so I was like, well...
As stated, it is an alpha, but considering that, it's actually really good.
Yeah,
game?
It's Warhammer 40k Inquisitor,
Oh, yes.
and
TV
it
was
is
talking about
it's pretty much
Diablo, but
it's a mix between Diablo and Helldivers.
yeah,
that. Yes,
I would
yes,
say.
that's right. You were saying.
That would be the mix I would give it.
there's like cover mechanics and stuff in
And
it.
there's actually pretty decent cover.
Uh-oh.
Like when the standard bullet is the size of your head.
Oh.
So cover doesn't last very long.
Everything just froze for me. It's back. Okay. I got so scared. Oh my god.
They also got the scaling correct because you're a normal sized human Inquisitor, and when you're fighting Chaos Space Marines, they're like 12 feet tall and towering over you.
So, like real Space Marines.
Well, they're trying to be as true to the lore as they can. Just details and stuff.
I made an assassin character.
Good, I made a Crusader.
Cool.
And I realized the subclasses, it only affects your starting gear. You get no perks, no abilities, nothing different.
Okay.
Yeah,
It just affects what you start with, armor and weapon.
Fellas,
But it's kinda like-
I'm turning my light on, which means we're gonna start soon, because otherwise I'm
You
gonna
got
die.
Go on, John.
well, I was gonna say like it's kind of like Victor Vran, in that your weapon influences your abilities. So
Yeah, your weapon influences your abilities, and your armor influences whatever, your big ability is. Like me, my choices, I have a rocket pack on the back, I can drop turrets, or I can jump jet, into combat. Those are my 3 armor choices.
Okay. Ready, everyone?
Okay.
probably.
Starting in
Big.
5, 4, 3. Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Defenders, Marvel's Netflix Defenders. Our four, dysfunctional idiots finally meet. It's us.
And also the
It's
Defenders
actually
came
us.
together.
It's 4 of us.
It took me I'm in that state of mind where it took me 2 seconds to think, wait, is she talking about us or the show?
I'm your host, Cleo.
Never tell.
We've
Wait,
made
who
a-
are we in relation to the Defenders?
I'm just.
Jess.
My whiskey is downstairs. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm the guy
Jess.
who got thrown out the window. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm the guy who tried to tow Trish's car.
Cool. Well, it's actually John, Mike, and Jake that are here with me, not the guy who tried to tow Trish's car.
The killers of intros. That is
And-
us.
Yes. I'm taking off this leather jacket because it's very hot.
With some nice tweed on the lining inside there.
Yes. If only it were blue. Whatever. Whoa. How did you guys like Defenders? Let's start with overall emotions.
Emotions. Oh, there's a lot of those.
Emotions.
It needed to be longer.
I disagree very, very strongly.
I don't know.
I have arguments for both. Like, I wanted the full 13 episodes that we've gotten from all the other Netflix series, but yes, the story they told fit nicely into 8 episodes.
I think we would have been
Yeah.
stuck with like weird like things that didn't matter as much.
There would have been subplots to like the family that Jessica was helping out, and then more subplots to like Mariah and Mr. Shades, which we don't need any of that until we get to like the second
Page
seasons
two.
of their shows.
Yeah.
But I think maybe 10 episodes would have been nice because there are some things that I wish would have gotten development that you could only develop in this series and not anybody else's series.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, but it got right to the point, and the first episode was. Oh, I should say if you watch our show, these podcasts, this one is a little different. We're not doing a first impressions since it's short. Just doing all 8, talking about all of them. So
So spoilers and everything.
yeah,
We're all cut off.
spoilers. That sort of a jam. The first episode did such a good job of saying, here's these characters. This is where they're at. This is what's happening.
And it felt like the first episode of their new seasons of their respective shows. And then it slowly starts like meshing together by the time we get to the second episode.
Yeah, everybody starts bumping heads and
Or bumping fists. Or bumping fists into chests and it doesn't work.
Oh my god. Can I just say, watching Danny fail to beat up, like, just punching Luke, and Luke just standing there like, silly white boy, was fucking hilarious.
Well, I like that everybody pretty much in this show is basically calling Danny privileged dickhead white boy.
Yeah.
Shoot
Someone
fits.
had to tell him.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it was perfect the way Luke did it. He tells him how it is, and then Danny's like, you know what? He's right.
Danny doesn't learn anything, but yeah.
No lessons were learned.
Well, I mean,
I
he
am the
learned
immortal
that.
Iron Fist.
No, he learned that. He learned that he needs to put on a different suit every once in a while.
Different suit
But that is
is
literally the
cool.
only thing he learns.
Well, he needs to put on a suit like everybody else in the show needs to put on a suit.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna get a costume. That'd be.
I don't think he will. It's kind of stupid looking if you
Here's
really
the-
look at it.
I know we're jumping around. I'm jumping around. But here's the thing. He's sort of like taken up the Daredevil's position. What if in doing that, he gets a costume?
I don't know, but that scene right there, that gave me some Batman Returns shit. I'm like, you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do this. You're not. I'm like, oh, okay, it's Danny. Okay, got it. Thanks. Oh, it's Danny. That was my reaction.
Yeah, because he was just in his hoodie. Like, all right.
Like
It's a
I
hoodie,
knew.
it's a good disguise.
Yeah, I made it a good disguise. In this universe, it is.
Yeah,
gotta
you put on a baseball cap and a hood, and you're incognito. It's just how it works.
Stealth mode.
Worked for Captain America. Worked for everybody.
Everybody pretty much on Team Cap.
Okay. When at the end of Luke Cage's season, where he's going, they're locking him up, and Claire's like, "I know a lawyer. I got you." And it
Yeah.
wasn't confirmed, but I knew it was Foggy, and it was Foggy. And Foggy meeting Luke was hilarious. He calls him Mr.
yeah.
Nelson. Everyone calls me Foggy. You let them?
You let them? Just, huh?
And Foggy's just like, oh, you're funny.
Oh, yeah, it's like,
And you're right, because that is a stupid ass nickname.
like,
Kinda.
who are you? I'm your lawyer. We spoke on the phone a lot. You spoke a lot.
That's usually how it goes.
Sounds like Foggy.
But that's like
Yeah.
the first crossover we get,
Yeah.
and it's really satisfying.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
But like after that, at least in the first episode, we don't get anything else. But
No.
I like it that way because like we can't just like jump in and say like, "Rawr, yeah, here is everything. Like you must love us." No, we need to like it's like sex. You need to ease into it. We can't go in raw like that. No, that's not good.
Yeah, it's like setting up what's been going on. So like Danny and Colleen were hunting the hand all over the world.
In Cambodia,
Yeah, they were in Cambodia.
like, what are you
He's like,
doing?
Sure.
You gotta go back to New York.
Because of course.
Because of course.
Because of course, the fight, this ancient war between the Hand and the servants of Kunlun and all that other stuff, is happening in New York City.
Yeah.
It's always
Like
happening.
you knew in the first place, Danny.
Yeah.
But it
Shocking.
seemed a little too convenient.
No, I want to go to Cambodia. I have to tell more people that I'm the immortal Iron Fist.
I have to chase people across
Well,
all of Asia.
it started with them going to Kunlun and the gates being, like, everybody at the gates being dead and the city being missing. And then
Yep.
I guess they just tried to trace the Hand from there, and I guess they never thought to go back to New York.
I don't know. Well, the Hand, there are multiple fingers of the Hand, as you do. And they all are in different parts of the world. So, I mean, out of all the places in the entirety of Earth, would you think that they were all conveniently in one spot in New York? Well, in this universe, you should, but logically, you wouldn't think that.
No, all our heroes are from New York. It's just, so all our bad guys, their ultimate goal, their holy grail, almost literally, is going to be in New York.
And the Graveyard of Dragons is also in New York.
Yeah.
Or at least the body of a single dragon. At least that's what it seemed like. It seemed like it was...
Okay.
He was holding up Lower Manhattan.
Yeah, he was a very big dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So much conveniently laid placement that makes a very familiar symbol.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh god, it's the shape of his tattoo.
Yeah. And I mean, we were just, when we had our Iron Fist podcast, we were just talking about how the dragon was real, and here's another one.
Well, this dragon looks more real than the one we got in Iron Fist. Like, this one has a body.
Yeah. Yeah, the dragon that the Iron Fist, it seems like it's a spirit of a dragon, so that might also be another dead dragon.
Fuck.
And in that cave, there might be another, dragon dead body. I don't know.
Maybe this is the body of the spirit of the dragon we saw in Iron Fist.
I thought it was.
I was thinking maybe it was a different dragon, because they already had the substance, so clearly they got it from another dragon.
Right, but I thought that it's been a few weeks since I watched it. I thought there was a part where Danny he had a line that made me think that this was the body of Xiao the dragon.
Oh, what was the line? Do you remember?
I can't remember. As
who
soon
can
as
remember what he says then?
Yeah, as soon as as soon as she, by the way, that whole scene, I'm like, she's going to stand there, piss you off, so you use the fist, and then she's going to step out of the way, and you're going to punch through the fucking wall. Yes. I'm like, that is exactly what she's doing. You're playing right, and then it happened.
He only had, there was only one thing he had to do.
Not activate
Not
the
use
fist.
the fist. He knew it. He knew it, and he did it anyway.
Not use the fist at all. Don't use it. And
Just don't use it. It's so easy. Don't use it.
Well,
Just let her kick your ass.
You can't do that, though, because here's the thing. Somebody told me this, and it makes so much sense to me. If you just completely retcon what this show has told you, Danny is 16 years old. Just make that your headcanon.
No,
that
he's
Danny
still
is 16
10.
years-
He's still 10. He hasn't grown since the plane crash.
but now but he's 16 because now he has the teenage angst.
Ah, there we go.
Wow.
As soon as you and this is not what he's not, I don't know how old he actually really is. I kind of forget, but
26? 25?
yes, but just if he's 26, just subtract 10 years. Just keep that in mind while you're watching anything that he's in. Danny is 16 years old. Just keep telling yourself that, and everything will be fine. You're like,
He's
okay, I
an
get it
idiot
now.
teenager.
He needs to show off, the fucking gift that he is, that he earned.
And here's the
And
thing.
when he,
I don't
and when he
doubt
can't
that he
do-
earned it.
I mean, I don't think he did. I think he inherited it, but he didn't earn it. It was given to him And they're like, you need to be responsible with this, and then maybe one day you'll grow into it. And
Well,
he never
he
did.
had to do something, at least from what it sounds like, he had to do something that impressed the monks enough for them to be like, it's you.
Or maybe they're like, shit, we have no one else.
Yeah, Davos is a really shit candidate.
Well-
Liz.
No, the dragon shows him.
Oh, right, because him and Davos went to the cave.
Yeah. And also, I just looked it up. That is not Shao Lao under
Okay.
New York.
Okay,
That is a different dragon.
that works. I don't know. There's just like I said, there was a line that he said. Again, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna be going to watch it after this. It doesn't help me now.
So
Just tweet
apparently,
it. Tag us all, tweet
there-
it.
there were many dragons that roamed the world apparently in the past of the MCU. So
That works.
that's one of them.
Hey, we finally find out how the hand is coming back to life. They are bathing corpses in a mixture of blood and powdered dragon bone.
Yeah. I assume that's also what's in the pills that we see Alexandra take through this whole season.
Or maybe they're just pills.
They
I
might
think they're
just...
just painkillers.
Because, like, they said they ran out of the substance. They used it all on
Okay.
Electra. So, like, I think at that point, and even why even put it into pills? Can't
I
you
mean,
just
they said
shower
she's
in it?
When you can just, drink it.
Yeah.
she's suffering from what they say multi-organ failure
Yeah,
or
like-
multi-system organ
Well,
failure.
because we're humans. We're meant to die and
Yeah.
decay. We're not supposed to be living this long. So,
When
like,
you're,
I wonder
like-
what the problem is.
Yeah, when you're like 900 years old, things are gonna stop fucking
Oh,
working.
she's like more than that, probably.
Yeah,
well,
no,
she seems to know Beethoven personally.
Oh, those two
Yeah.
totally hooked up at one point in their life. That's
Mhm.
Oh, right. She also calls... Oh, she's very old then, because she calls Istanbul Constantinople.
Constantinople.
Which...
Yeah.
It stopped going by Constantinople in, like, the 1400s. So...
1428, I think, is the year.
Damn,
I
dude.
don't know why. Don't ask why I know that.
Did anybody
I'm gonna
else?
ask. Why do you know that?
Did anybody else want flashbacks to like different times
Yeah,
that she was in?
I would love that. Just like
Honestly-
Sigourney Weaver walking around like, "Hey, look, I'm in London."
Like, hey, Annie Oakley, how are you?
I'm not sure that was necessary.
I would no, it's not necessary. But I want to see
okay. True. I would like to see it.
Her and
Queen
Gouge, like,
Elizabeth. Hey,
yeah, like you always did like this spot in the middle of Central Park, just like and then they talk about how when the Dutch bought it for $24. It's like I think they
They
overpaid. Like, really?
I think she
that's
was getting
the
at the
one
fact
who
that it really is
killed
just a
Abraham
piece of shit.
Lincoln.
Yeah, but I mean, I would like to see the flashbacks, but they weren't needed.
Mhm.
No.
I mean, we got enough of the history of it from Jessica doing her sleuthing work, tracking down, was it Midland Circle Financial
That
all the
was
way
so
back through
cool.
time, and then
She
she just
only
puts
got-
it together.
She only got as far as 1820, I think.
1820 something, yeah.
And then, when they like met up, when they were facing the other fingers of the hand, I think it was Bakuto was like, that's as far as that's it. That's all you got to was 1820.
Yeah, one of them said that. Like,
Like back when they were using paper and pen, like that's so advanced compared to us. We were
So-
still using stone tablets and shit.
Here's
Go
the
on.
thing.
here's the thing.
It is suggested that the Hand were involved in the destruction of Pompeii in 79 AD.
Yes, you know what? You're right. It was suggested.
So technically, that could have been Alexandra.
Oh. Well, it would have had to have been because the 5 fingers of the hand were the ones that got cast out of Kunlun to begin
And
with.
Which means they could be alive for millennia, not just like
Not just thousands
hundreds
of
of
years.
years.
Yeah.
Like thousands and thousands of years.
Back when people didn't speak English.
So,
That's why they all That's probably why they all speak lots of
Lots
languages.
of languages.
They created those languages.
Except for what's his face, who only speaks Japanese and refuses to speak anything else.
Well, he can. He just refuses to. Because
Exactly, he refuses. Out of principle, I feel like he refuses.
Murakami, I think his
Yes,
name is.
Murakami.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that dickhead.
Like the author. I was like, I'm gonna remember that because that's the name of an author, and I forgot it. I'm lucky I'm remembering Bakuto's name, so let's just be thankful for that.
I guess I am thankful for that. Yeah, it all clicked in Jessica's head like, this is the same handwriting. This is the same damn
exact-
signature.
She
Why
didn't
the
even
fuck?
try to hide it either.
And why the fuck did you pick all A names, really?
Well, she's a little crazy.
A
And
lot
I
of
mean-
AL names.
Hmm?
A lot of AL names.
Yeah.
Like, bitch.
And when we were talking about Harold Meacham
Mm-hmm.
and how
Yeah.
the more you die and come back, the less yourself you get, or the more crazy you go. These 5 clearly are a bit of an exception because they must be stronger or something, not quite fully human, but
Well,
they're all a little crazy.
it's not. I mean, obviously, they were allowed to see Kunlun, so they obviously are special in some way and disciplined. But you took someone like Harold Beecham, who frankly was an asshole to begin with, and someone who's weak-willed like him. I understand going crazy, but like they're clearly. I don't even know if I would call them like crazy. Like by our standards, yeah, but by their standards, if they've literally been alive since the year 79, they've seen a lot of shit. So that's why Madame Gao says it's just a city.
Yeah.
Many fall and many will come. Like it just doesn't matter to them. Their perspective is so different.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When it
Gao
comes to
says
just
it's just
life.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll get used to seeing cities fall.
And you know what? Maybe if the city was destroyed, we wouldn't have these many problems.
Bet the Romans of Pompeii thought a little differently when the volcano was erupting. But I mean that was BC, so that's like
AD 79.
really? Rome is 8?
Pompeii was 8.
Oh.
Pompeii was yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking Greek. Greek was BC.
But they were there too.
Hey, the Greeks are still
Probably.
around. Hey, there's a lovely place called Greece nowadays.
Yes, I'm sorry. I meant ancient Greeks, smartass.
Ooh, me?
And they were there when hair grease was a thing too.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes, they
Imagine
were.
Madame Gao in a poodle skirt.
Oh my god, no.
God,
So
no.
cute.
I want a poodle skirt.
No, it turns out the poodle was actually killed and she made a skirt
Yeah.
out of it.
It was poodle leather. Let's just be clear about that.
Poodle leather.
So Jessica gets told by some weird voice on the phone not to investigate the case she wasn't going to take, but since she was told don't do it, obviously she's got to do it.
It's Jess.
That is a very Jessica reason to do something, though.
You don't fucking tell me what to do.
Well, then also, just because you get a call from somebody using a voice modifier telling you not to take the case,
You're on the right track.
that's when it's not only someone told her not to do it, so she's gonna do it, but also it's bigger than some guy's cheating on his
Yeah.
wife.
And
Right.
and whoever it is knows that this family went up to speak with her just like 5 seconds ago.
She, like, hey, I hope you find him or whatever. They walk down the hallway, unlocks the door, closes the door. The phone rings, 5-10 seconds tops later. And there's just the voice, Jessica Jones. Just, okay, yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to these people, and now you're telling me not to take the case. I'm taking this fucking case. Just to find out who Creepy Voice Man is and, put him through a brick wall.
Yeah, seriously. So she starts digging. Then Jerry Hogarth comes in. And this was something I didn't give a second thought to the rest of the episodes till I sat down to write these notes. She is very, very wants to keep what Jessica's doing separate from her. And then after that, we don't see her again. And okay. I am paranoid in this universe. You all know that.
Mm.
Yeah.
But her
Good way to
coming
be.
in, telling Jessica not to do it, and then leaving seems really sketchy to me. Like she knows what's up.
Well, you realize who we're talking about, right?
Hogarth?
Need I say more?
She is sketchy as fuck. But that's not the point.
No, this is really. I didn't think much of it. I'm like, oh yay, Hogarth, because like I don't love Hogarth, but it's nice to see her.
Very interesting character.
And you know what? I think her and Jessica, like they're not like friends, but they're like accomplices.
Known each other
Whatever
for a long
Jess,
time.
she represents Jess, so whatever Jess does affects
Not even.
her.
It's not even that. Yeah, I mean, Jess did freelance work for her. It's not like she represents her, really.
But they are associated if push comes to shove.
Well, like people know, they're like when
Yeah.
Jess is in trouble, Hogarth usually comes in to do all this bullshit.
So yeah, so Hogarth puts her newest hire, Foggy, on the job. Like, if anything happens to her, fix it.
Handle this woman, please. How?
Foggy's like, I got the perfect guy.
Yeah. Here, Foggy, and I will talk about Foggy and Karen in a bit, but you want Matt to stay out of, the life of crime fighting and to stay away from all that shit. You just want, and so you hand him all these case files of just tasks that you don't want to do, but you think they'll keep him busy. And Jessica's file was in there. If you wanted to keep him out of that life, why the fuck would you give him Jessica Jones'
What?
file?
He
Well-
didn't really know that because
People know Jessica though. They know her now.
Well, it wasn't
Right.
her. Jessica's file wasn't in that pile that he gave him.
I'm sure it was because, how else did he find Jess?
Well, because Foggy
And,
told
like,
him.
Yeah,
Because Foggy
like-
gives him the files before Hogarth tells him to keep Jessica away from the firm. So I assume that he went and was like, "Oh, hey, would you mind taking care of Jessica Jones before you look at those files?"
Well, yeah, but
'Cause
like
there are-
Foggy, think about what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
It's Jessica
yeah.
Jones.
Uh,
But really, if it was in the case files and like Matt was searching through them, as soon as he saw Jessica's name, he's like, "I'm doing that one."
yeah.
Mm.
Well, saw Jessica's name.
more like she got arrested and we need you to go get her bailed out.
Yeah. Well, I was making a blind joke, but okay.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Was that this show where like Stick makes a joke and then like flails his hand in front of his eyes? I think that was
I don't
this
think
one.
so.
I'm
What?
not sure if it
I don't
was this
remember.
one.
Well, there was a lot of blind jokes.
Oh yeah,
There were touch me again, I'll hit you so hard you could see.
that one was great. That was great.
If only it worked that way.
Mhm. Yeah.
I love their banter.
Oh, it's great. Matt and Jessica are just like bags of sass.
I'm just really glad you're here. I'm not
I'm
hugging
not
you.
hugging you.
I might break you. So.
You look stupid. It's your scarf.
Nice ears.
Your horns.
Oh
Just-
yeah, the ear.
their back and forth was so great,
Oh yeah.
which I didn't quite expect, but I'm glad it. Guys, I miss Jess a
Oh, I
lot.
miss her so much.
I've watched this show for her.
I miss
I'm
her
gonna
so
be quite
Yeah.
much.
honest.
That season can't come quick enough.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, she's
No.
still an alcoholic, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's gonna
Oh.
stop.
It's not going to, because she's still been through some shit, and she can't admit that what she did was a victory. She doesn't accept it as a victory, because the shit still happened to her. She's still a victim, and this is the whole thing with Jessica's character, and why Jessica Jones, the series, is so special to me, and why I think it's a special show, and why it's my favorite out of all these four, is that Jessica is a victim of sexual abuse. Also mental abuse, but that is true. That's also a metaphor for sexual abuse, which both are true in her case. So she can't fix that part. That's always going to stay with her. She did stop it from happening to other people, though, but she can't see that.
Mhm.
She only sees where she failed.
Yeah.
And she can't see it because then that would mean she'd have to accept the fact that she's a hero, and she'll never think of herself as a hero.
No.
We still see her getting pulled by that because of her, even just her dealings with, the mother and daughter who, whose husband/father shot himself in the fucking head in her office. I mean, she keeps going back to them. And she, she rolls her eyes and I really don't want to do it, but she's going to do it because deep down she knows it's the right thing to do.
And she
She
really
so
does.
she's and she's fighting against that as best she can, but she never wins that battle,
No.
It's only so much booze you could drown yourself in.
Yeah,
Right. And
exactly.
now she has to add on the fact that there was a giant dragon under the city. The city would have collapsed, and she caught an
Granted, a
elevator.
dead dragon.
Granted, a dead dragon, and she caught an elevator with one hand, and
Yep.
hey, apparently I could do that.
That was fucking awesome.
I just love Danny's reaction though, first seeing her. She's like, "Wow, she's really strong." Like, and that's
yeah,
why he's
buddy.
10. That's why he's 10. That's something a 10-year-old would say right there. Just the
Why
childlike
didn't-
wonder.
I was just waiting for Jess to kick his fucking ass.
Well, she did. She knocked his lights out.
Well, no, but no, not knock him out, kick his ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got you.
There wasn't time for that.
No, we had Matt kick his ass.
But I think out of all the people that would have done that, it would have been Jessica.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, the difference is, Jess, as she put it, when she found the one hand guy stalking the wife and daughter, like, what does everybody know kung fu except me now?
It's okay. Luke doesn't either.
No, but Luke doesn't have to.
No. No, Luke just puts people in places they don't want to be.
Yeah.
Right?
My favorite is Bakudo with his sword up to Colleen, and Luke just grabs it and then throws him. And it's like, no amount of martial arts is gonna stop you getting thrown across the courtyard.
Right. No amount of skill with sword, gun, or anything like that is going to stop you from getting picked up by the invulnerable man.
Yeah.
Because no matter how you hit him, block him, stab him, poke him, slash, nothing's going to phase him. So he's just going to reach his hand right in.
Yeah.
I mean, I did notice that, like, in a lot of the fights, like, Luke was still getting knocked around a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, it may not have hurt him, but
No.
he was still getting, like, against a trained martial artist, he was still
Yeah.
getting hit.
Mhm.
And Gao was force blasting everybody.
Well, yeah.
Madame Gao is my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew when everything collapsed that people were alive, because Gao was down there and there's no way she's dead.
No.
They can't kill her off.
No.
I
But
mean,
they can kill off Sigourney Weaver, which fuck y'all for doing that.
now,
No!
this is...
But I thought
I gotta...
They couldn't
yeah,
afford
I
her
saw-
for the rest of the episodes.
I can't joke. I don't want to laugh at that, but they build her up like she's, the 5 fingers of the hand. She's like,
she's
their
she's
leader
this
at
one.
the moment.
She's
Yes, she's that one right now. I don't know how to put it. She's their, she's the thumb. Every hand needs a thumb to be effective, I guess. Whatever. They build her up to be like, she's there. She must be their leader for a reason when they're not plotting against each other and trying to, assassinate each other.
Mhm.
And as she even puts it, like, you guys want to challenge me at this point, like, and they're like, oh, Gao and Bakudo and I forgot his name already. Speaks
Murakami.
Japanese. Yeah, Murakami. They're all standing there, and they all look. Even Murakami, they look kind of uneasy. Like, yeah, this might be a bad idea. And I'm like, okay, so she's got to be like some god level martial artist. I mean, yeah, she takes Elektra down, but Elektra was, groggy and just woke up and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. She's going to like start shooting lightning bolts out of her fingertips or some crazy emperor shit or something like that. And it's just like, I should have
Yeah,
seen it
just-
coming.
Kind of got stabbed.
Yeah, and here's the
Kinda.
thing. I knew something was gonna happen because of the camera angle.
Well, she was making her "I'm gonna die" speech.
Well, she was she was monologuing. She was doing the bad guy monologue.
Supposed to do that.
She's doing the bad guy monologue with the, odd camera angle that's hiding everything else in the shot.
And why do these fucking camera people always have to get under Sigourney Weaver? She's not. She looks great, but like she's aging, guys, because like that's what happens, when time passes, you get older. So like, you can't no. Don't cinematography 101. You do not film from under the chin.
See, show it all. So she's older. Who cares? Aggressive.
She's playing someone who is 2,000 to 3,000 years old by our best estimate.
Yeah, but she don't look it.
That's true.
No, because of
in the way she
Thanks,
dresses.
dragons.
Yeah. So they're. I don't know. It's just like, kill Jessica Jones, kill Luke Cage, kill the devil of Hell's Kitchen, whoever he is, and then the way she walks off, I'm like, yeah, I really should have seen that coming. Like at that point, just his name is Matthew, by the way, and it's like you all work for me now.
Which is interesting. There is a arc in the comics where Matt actually takes over the hand, and
yes.
And people around him, they're like, you're going kind of crazy. Like, are you okay?
Probably stop, Matt. What?
So like, I don't know if this was a reference to that, because it's Elektra who's connected to Matt, but I don't think, I think the other fingers of the hand are like, yeah, you're totally our leader. Not really, but we're just gonna call you our leader, so we don't appease you.
Yeah, I think that was definitely them going, we don't actually care who's leading right now. We need to get this shit and get out.
Yeah. Well, because they were not getting any closer to their plan. Ultimately what they wanted to do. The only part that they were missing was not really Danny and himself. They just wanted his Iron Fist. That's really all they needed. They just needed that part. They didn't really care for the dumb fuck it was attached to.
Yeah.
But they weren't getting anywhere with that, and they all kept bagging on Elektra, or the Black Sky rather. They're like, we fucking wasted our resources on her. Like, she's not doing shit, and here she is bringing you the fucking thing you needed.
Yeah.
Dragging right in the front door. Hey, even manipulates him into breaking down the wall. Does the whole thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about Elektra. Holy shit, she was so great, and this whole time Marvel's got a weird fetish for mind brainwashing. It's a very recurring theme.
Well, I think that's a comic book thing. I think that's just a movie thing. So
it seems you're right. It just seems to happen a lot more often in Marvel stuff.
Let's name off the people who have been mind controlled
in
this universe. Do we have an hour?
Hawkeye.
It'll be easier to say who hasn't been at some point, or had their mind fucked with, or anything like that.
It's been a thing.
Yeah. So she's and I looked this up because I could not for the life of me remember how they defined the Black Sky. And it's kind of convenient for them that they didn't really ever define the Black Sky. It seems like it's just people who meet a certain criteria, which is never disclosed. They're like, that person's a Black Sky, that person's a Black Sky. It's like, how do you tell?
And it goes back to the little kid that Stick killed in season 1 of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's multiple, it's their greatest weapon. They've never activated one. All right, so what does it do? We don't know. We just know it's bad.
It kills things.
Well, we kind of got our answer, because clearly Elektra was quite enhanced since her resurrection.
Yeah.
Much stronger. She was able to take down the 4 defenders at
Forget
one
about
point,
being
you
able
know.
to take down the defendant. She had a car thrown at her and got him.
And survived. Yeah, you're right.
And can we
And
please acknowledge the fact that the car busted through the window,
Yes.
and you expect Jessica to get out of the car, but no, she fucking threw
No,
the
yeah,
car.
she threw the car. She didn't drive it. Forget that. She threw it.
It's the reasonable thing to do.
My girl.
Yeah.
Yes. So, because it's like, clearly she was skilled before she got resurrected. But does that mean that the Black Sky has to get resurrected to be the weapon?
Oh no.
The only thing Stick said when he was, semi-monologuing how many series ago
Season
was...
1. Was it at season 1? Oh my god.
It was season 1 of Daredevil, yeah. And then
Holy
season
shit.
2,
Again, yeah.
the whole thing was they've never activated one, is basically
Mm.
all he gives us.
So
We
I
don't know
guess
how that...
The goo is the
So-
activation.
Well,
Now,
the
and-
goo itself, we don't really know what that does. Well, we know it resurrects people, but like, is that all it does?
Hmm.
Is
And
it some kind of super wonder drug that is just the MacGuffin of this season? That doesn't really. It's like the Forest, where they don't really explain what it does, but they said it, so it's important.
Yeah.
I mean, it also... They lean a couple, especially in season 2 of Daredevil, they lean a bit into, that being the Black Sky unactivated was kind of like a reason for some of Elektra's psychotic tendencies.
Mm.
Or, like, more of her ragey and I really like to punch people tendencies.
But then there was that kid who was like a monk. He was sitting in the back of that truck meditating, so...
Probably because they found him young and were, cultivating him.
Yeah, maybe. Because that's kind of the same thing that... Well, similar thing that Stick does with Elektra, is he trains her, hopefully, to not be
Mm-hmm.
a murderous psychopath.
Oh no.
Fails, but
Didn't
Well,
work.
I mean, he himself is a murderous psychopath, so it's okay.
I mean, a
cool
little.
a little
psycho-
bit.
I mean, the idea is, okay, so the Hand wants the Iron Fist, so we're going to make sure you never leave this building, and they can't get you.
And so he had like one of the best ideas I've ever heard in this series, but like they don't let him do it. And I was
It's like, hey, Stick, I get what you're putting down, but maybe don't kill him.
but is wrong.
He's not wrong. Killing the Iron Fist
right.
would solve all their problems. But
Exactly. And, like, at that point, that would defeat the Hand. Killing the Iron Fist, by the time another one comes around, if there's even a Kunlun left to make another Iron Fist, we don't know the
Ooh.
current status.
we know it's still there.
Right. We know it's still
We
there
know
in
it's
some
still there
capacity.
somewhere.
But by the time they, train and nominate and name another Iron Fist, and Kunlun passes like adjacent to this plane of reality, and he, for whatever reason, steps onto Earth, they're probably going to be all dead. The fingers
Yeah,
of the
and
Hand.
well, why couldn't we just wait it out? Like,
And that's
things will be
Stick's
so
idea.
much better if they wait.
Stick's idea. I kill this Iron Fist. They all die before another one shows up.
Hmm.
That's simple. Done.
Yeah.
The war is won right then and there.
Yeah.
And, from Stick's point of view, fighting a long war his whole life and, like, purely from a, greater good standpoint, I get his point of view. Not saying it was the right thing to do, but, I get it.
Yeah, and he's always had that perspective, because, I mean, he...
Can you stop talking for a second? I think your microphone is loud. You are just multitasking.
Every time you say something, it sounds like a lightning bolt.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties.
Very technical difficulties. Unplug your mic and plug it back in is all I could say. Sweet, sweet relief. Oh.
So anyway, about that
So
show.
anyway, about that show. Technical
What were we talking
difficulties
about?
aside. I don't know. I was distracted by stuff
By the sounds.
of silence.
Okay.
Yeah, beautifully. Well, now you can't see us, but that's cool.
Oh, this
But
happens.
this is okay. We can work with this.
We can
um,
work with this.
Let's
Anyway.
talk about how fucking stupid Danny is. Let's talk about that.
Oh, we could do that a long time, yeah.
But like, let's get it all out now.
let's
we were-
just do, yeah.
We were going in that path of talking about how stupid Danny is, because
And how everyone in this show acknowledges how fucking stupid he is.
I feel like out of all the characters, I mean, and I get his series just aired, but he has not grown or changed really at all. Even like in the experiences he's had in his own show, he still really like is just stuck on the I'm the immortal Iron Fist and I will tell everyone I meet forever about that.
Is that better?
And it's I mean, I don't know if this was the same for you guys, but every scene he was in, I was just waiting for it to be over.
And some of those bad qualities he rubbed off on Colleen, and it's disgusting. Because throughout this series, I'm like, Colleen, there's something wrong. And like, you need to like talk to somebody, and I think it's gonna have to be Claire, because like she's like the most perfect person in all of these shows. So like, I'm glad that we got to see those two talking, and maybe Claire can knock some sense into this dingbat. But see, Colleen, she went. If you think about it, she went on the path that Danny is going on right now, where Danny, he feels like, and he does, I will admit, he has the right to be angry because the hand did kill his parents and him on like a mountain somewhere. Okay, that's great. But Danny, you're treating this journey that you're going on as if you're doing it for the greater good, but you're not. That's the problem. If you said to yourself and to everybody else, I'm doing this because I'm fucking upset and I want somebody to blame and I want my revenge, that's still not great, because it still kind of makes you a terrible person, but you own up to it. He doesn't do that.
No. And I think that's exactly it. He just, that's what's so frustrating about him, is that his problems are very obvious and his motivations are very obvious, but he just can't seem to he can't even really verbalize it. That's the thing.
No, because I think he has a problem with words. I don't think he knows what words are, so
No.
it's just.
And how Colleen just hook, line, he is the greatest. Do you understand who he is?
Oh, like
Iron Fist. It's like,
I
how could
don't
you be
understand.
Gaga for him?
She drank the Kool-Aid.
Ew, it's gross.
She's trading one culture
Yeah.
for another.
He hasn't earned a relationship with her.
No,
I think.
and what fucking happened to like the vow of chastity that you mentioned that never came up again? I don't know, dude.
Screw Chastity with that. I mean, in his case, it's like, or in her case, it's he's an extremely gifted martial artist who can put me in my place. He can summon his chi into a big green ball of blow the room up, and he's a billionaire.
Maybe she needs the rent money. I don't know.
I mean,
Well, she doesn't act that way.
Can you guys hear
I
me?
mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I liked
I guess
Colleen
that's a
a
no.
lot in Iron Fist itself.
When she wasn't a dumbass.
Right. But like this series, not so much. I felt like she was just girl Danny in this one.
And that's gross.
A little bit.
Like, her arc is the same as Danny's arc. Like, I want revenge on this person who had done me wrong, and I'm going to act like it's for the greater good, but it's not, because I'm going to do everything on my own for my own selfish reasons and get
Right.
other people in danger as well.
Right. Yeah. It's very one note. Like it's almost like if Batman was obsessed with only avenging his parents' murder, finding out what that problem is, and then solving it, and then doing nothing. Like, what do you do now? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, so all right, they basically, as far as they know, defeated the Hand. Colleen killed Bakuto. I mean, that's what she wanted. What's their game? What do they do now? Like, what does Danny? I mean, we kind of have an idea. Like, Danny and Luke might like get together and create Heroes for Hire, like we know they do in the comics. But they kind of planted seeds for that. Nothing really explicit was mentioned.
You could see their budding kind of sort of friendship.
Yeah, and the way they fought together was cool.
Yeah.
You know, like at least in that first scene where Danny was in the boardroom thinking that he could convince the Hand to stop being so mean, and you know, like he kind of hid behind Luke to like dodge the bullets and stuff like that. Like that kind of stuff is like really cool, and like you can kind of see like, all right, these two could work in a really cool way together.
And that is great teamwork.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things I like about this series, is the way they fight together when they actually do.
Can you guys still not hear me?
Yes. Oh my God. Like seriously, Jess and Luke together again, just throwing cars, bending pipes around people. I mean, you have a good combo there.
Yeah, you do.
And kudos to Matt, because that man, he was handling some shit this season. Like, he was taking on, like, I think Bakuto and, like, Murakami at the same time in that one fight scene, and towards the end, like, in the second to last episode. Like he was fine.
Hi.
Damn. Hi.
Oh, God.
Welcome back.
And,
So, to just...
I was trying to say that she traded Bakuto for Danny. Like, it's one unhealthy relationship for another. Sorry. I know that was like a topic ago, but holy shit.
That's
It's okay, but it's amazing, though, because everybody else heard you,
I
and
know.
you're going to probably be speaking just fine on the recording, but we're
It
sitting
sounds
here
like
with
y'all are
just...
ignoring me.
We
don't
are
sound like
ignoring
that.
you.
We aren't.
Your opinion is unimportant.
Just like Danny's.
Just like Danny's.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Danny, your input on the matter is not appreciated. Thank you.
No, it's
And,
not.
in
Nobody
terms
does
of-
listen to you. They knock you out and tie you to a chair.
Exactly.
Because it's just easier.
Yeah. And it's not just that Danny didn't learn anything. There weren't even any, like, new things he did with his fist. Because in his season, you know, in the Iron Fist season, he could always do the fist, but then he learns to do the healing. He didn't even fucking do that.
No, but he did, like, when he used the fist, it did, you know, there was like a force wave with it that knocked people over.
Ah, I guess that's
When-
true.
Much more powerful.
And at the,
Okay.
you know, when they were, you know, the big final battle down in the cave was starting, and he was punching with the fist, and Gao was going to, like, you know, do her little blasty thing, and you know, and they just like kind of met in midair, and the whole room just got knocked on their asses. And Gao went into some other part of the cave.
And he was able to hold it for a lot longer than he used to.
That too.
See,
So-
before he had an Iron Fist dysfunction or something, and it happens a few times. And they never really explain why it works and why it doesn't.
He has to
'Cause-
focus.
Well, I remember while we were watching Iron Fist, he said, "No, like, I am the immortal Iron Fist because I keep my emotions in check." But it seems like his emotions fuel it. So I don't understand. I feel like he's one of those people who tries to bullshit his way through an argument, hoping that he comes up with something, but he doesn't.
Yeah, we talked about this in our Iron Fist series impressions that we did about a week ago now, and they picked the most undisciplined person you could imagine to,
I don't agree.
like,
We didn't see how he behaved in Kunlun. I
no, you're right.
absolutely
And I agree.
believe he was disciplined in Kunlun. But it's like sending a dog to obedience school. As soon as it gets home, if it's in that environment that lets it act out, it's gonna. He's a dog.
Well,
like
beating a kid with sticks while
well,
he stands still, is that discipline? I don't know. I think that's just being numb
No.
to the pain.
I think they taught him to shove his emotions way down deep inside, and there were no therapists in Kunlun, so
I also,
Bad.
thinking about it, it's like a heavenly city. It's probably like a serene sense of peace that just permeates the air. So he's probably able to just, but he was probably just able to focus really quick and like call a fist there because, hey, it's peaceful, it's serene, it just breeds calmness. And now he's
What,
back.
New York doesn't?
Does LA?
Oh, fuck no.
Oh, there's your answer.
Well, maybe in this small town, maybe. But, actually, someone did just get shot the other day across the street.
small towns suck just as much as the cities.
Well, all right. So, like, obviously he has very little emotional control and regulation, and the littlest thing will set him off. But he doesn't really seem to struggle to summon the fist in this series. Like, he's basically
not as
got it
much.
unlocked.
And he holds
Like-
it longer.
Yeah, and it fades from him, but that's because his chi runs out. Like, it's not like he's a fucking Duracell battery.
It's chi that doesn't exist.
She exists, my dude.
Well, it exists, but I don't think that's what it is. Because Jessica said it's not chi.
Yeah.
No,
What
it's
the
she.
hell is she now?
Well, no, I think they just call it chi. See, this is a problem I have with, like, in Iron Fist. One of the many problems I had with that show was they kept calling it chi, but they don't really explain what chi does and what it is. So I feel like it's the same problem I have with the Force. Like, the difference between this and the Force is that I actually love Star Wars, but it's like they don't explain what it is. So like it's chi, so
He
you don't
just
have to
explains
explain it.
everybody has its life force, and he's able to concentrate and focus his into his fist.
Yeah, what does it do?
And we even
what is
see
it there?
him when they all meet up in the Chinese
It's what
restaurant.
makes everybody live.
Yeah, he's eating enough food for 8 people, and he's just like, channeling my
You need
chi
that?
makes me hungry.
It's like Goku.
Yeah, he's like Goku.
He's got the
and-
emotional maturity of Goku too. It's perfect.
yeah,
Yeah, I meant that on several levels when I said he's like Goku.
All the levels.
Yeah.
But he has lane.
he's strong. He can focus his chi.
He's a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking idiot. He's like a legendary chosen warrior. Did I mention he has to eat a lot?
Did I mention he's an idiot?
I mean, there you go. But I definitely I kind of felt like, again, in this show, Jess was just us. Just
Yeah.
like, oh, so you can make your hand glow. Okay, great. I'm going to leave.
Oh my god. I love and appreciate that Stick tried to tell her to shut up and sit down, and she just fucking left.
He tried to be the fatherly, the tough love.
No, he tried to make her do something she was not gonna do. So she fucking left.
Well, Jess is one of those people who, like, you can try to tell her something, she just leaves. You just let her leave.
I mean, are you really gonna try and stop her?
No, you're not going to.
You'll get
See,
put through a wall.
See, the question is not whether or not I'm in. The question is whether or not you're going to stop me. If Jess the kind of person who, if she broke up with you, you wouldn't be confused.
Jess is the kind of person who would kick down a door and then punch an old lady in the stomach. That was my favorite thing.
Well, and see, like, when you say that, that can mean two things. You can say Madame Gao or just a random lady on the street.
Yeah, she'd do either, if the lady was a big enough dick.
Yeah, I mean, the little old Chinese lady disguise for Madame Gao just wasn't working this time. I mean, yes, would you pause at hitting a little old Chinese woman who walks with a cane? Yeah, goddamn right you would pause.
A cane she doesn't really need.
Would you pause after you find out that she's responsible for probably hundreds of thousands of murders and can force blast you across the room? Less pause.
Less pause, yeah.
hmm
I want to keep talking about Kunlun. I don't want to get too far away from that.
Come-
But it's getting further away from us.
Wherever it is, because we know it still exists because that's what the Hand wants to use the dragon bones for. They said they wanted to use it to get back to Kunlun.
Well, they said to Alexandra, they said to her, like, you're afraid of dying. We just want to live long enough to go home. And they mentioned that there's a portal that opens, I forget how many years. But every so often.
Oh, so they just need to
the
wait.
portal opens. So they're dying right now. They just need more of the substance so that they can stay alive. So they can live long enough to get to that point. So I don't think that's what the substance is for.
I
just think
misinterpreted that.
Well, that's what I got from it.
But then that's the other thing. They're going to go home. They're going to have to do a lot of combat and fighting and killing a whole bunch of people there. Because otherwise, what's stopping the Elders of Kunlun from just kicking them the fuck back out again?
Yeah,
I think they just want to see it again, really, except for maybe Alexandra. But I think the other 4, or maybe the other 3 rather, because like one of them's dead.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them are dead now.
well,
I think they just
three
want
of
to
them
see it.
Well, we don't know.
4 of them are confirmed. No, actually, no. 3 of them are confirmed dead
Yes.
because their heads have been removed.
Yes.
Oh, I'm forgetting about that. The guy in the white suit.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Why
we
the
didn't
black
see-
guy got it? Why the black finger thing got die first?
That's what I thought when it happened to. I was like, well.
yeah, we didn't see what happened to the other 2 because Gao was down there looking perfectly fine, and wow, his name's gone from my head again. I
Murakami.
remember Bakuto. Murakami was, impaled through the torso, and
For a
an
while,
elevator
I
was
was
falling
calling
on
him-
his head.
For a while, I was calling him Nobu's master.
Well, that's what he was,
what he
Nobu's
was.
master.
I was calling him Mr. Bear.
So
It's like, the guy pulling the strings behind Nobu is like, okay, so Nobu was the scary Kasarigama wielding fucking ninja. It's like really scary, and this is the guy pulling the strings. This guy must be like, like scary.
Not to mention he had an entire scene with his 2 hands inside of a bear's body.
His bare hands.
Oh, God. It almost killed me. They all
I get it.
almost kill you. It's like,
Well, he said like, I've been chasing this thought to be extinct bear. Well, now it is extinct. What are you doing with the bear, dude? Are you gonna eat it? Because like I just expected him to pull out the liver and just like take a bite out of it.
no,
It
it's
was
just
a
the
very
thrill of the hunt.
Hannibal Lecter kind of a scene too.
Yeah, but I mean, what is he going to do with the bear? Nothing. He's going to stuff it and mount it somewhere.
Oh, probably.
The bear
yeah.
gave him a bad look, and he just wanted to kill it.
But I mean, from the conversation with Alexandra, he does this often. He tracks something, he hunts it, and he defeats it in, I'm guessing, hand-to-hand combat because he always, it almost killed me, and she says they all almost kill you.
Probably.
Like, so he's probably going at a bear he probably hunted a polar bear at some point with a katana.
Or
I could list about
bare hands.
I could list 5 reasons why that's going to go badly. Unless you were like the king at landing the first blow. But even then, no, it's going to go badly.
Or he just blinks and it exploded.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
Or he like surprised it, like surprise, stab through the head. Or however you scream surprise in Japanese. I don't know that.
I don't know that word either.
I could scream hello. I could scream good morning. I could scream goodbye.
Great.
Awesome.
In any case.
In
I
any case,
liked how everybody's sidekicks. I'm like totally like making a right turn here. I liked how everybody's sidekicks all ended up like in the precinct all together.
Like
in the
vaguely
Harlem
bonding.
in the Harlem PD.
Yeah. I especially liked oh my god. Trish and Karen.
Karen.
Well,
Because
I'm
it
happy.
wasn't until they were
notes.
in the same room where I'm like, oh, that's right. They're both technically journalists.
Yeah,
They
one of them
have
has
similar professions.
one's a talk radio host, and the
Mhm.
other is now a reporter,
Well,
an
one's a
investigative
former pop
journalist.
star turned.
Yeah.
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 And the other is some chick with baggage from the Midwest who's now a reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, their interactions was very interesting, and I really liked them
did.
together.
We needed more Trish because I miss Trish.
I know,
And
Trish is great.
When is she going? When is she going to go to hell and then come back with superpowers?
Oh God.
Well, I mean, Malcolm too. I missed him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who is he? He was kind of talking to Foggy, I think, right? Or is
who was
he?
talking to?
I forget.
They were. I think they came up to Karen and Trish, who were like at the board, and
Yeah.
just the shot of Foggy and Malcolm standing next to each other, I had to pause it and go, just like I had a fangirl moment.
And, this was just about the time that Claire and Colleen decide to break the hell out of there, steal explosives, and
Because that's a great
That was-
idea. Well,
good job,
Colleen was stupid enough to take the explosives from the evidence locker and get the fuck out of the compound. But Claire, we need to talk about Claire.
we need to talk about Claire.
Let's talk
We
about
do need to
Claire.
talk.
The
The
glue.
realest bitch on this show.
And like the only one who can act. I'm just kidding. But but like in Iron Fist, and again, Iron Fist is just easy to make fun of. She was like the only competent actor on that fucking series. But like anything Rosario Dawson is amazing. Like you watch the Josie and the Pussycats movie, and it's her movie. But we see Claire at the beginning of this series with Luke Cage, and they finally get some coffee. It's really great.
Coffee.
On the table.
It's about time.
Yeah, on the coffee table.
Yeah. Well, that's where you put
Where
your
it
coffee,
goes.
Jake.
On the coffee table.
Why
which was
didn't they
then
break
on
the
floor.
table? I was expecting the table to break, and it didn't do that. I was
Luke was
expecting.
being gentle. He didn't want to break
It's a
Claire
nice
in half.
table, Jake.
He
You
also
don't
didn't
break
want
the
to.
table when you're drinking coffee on it.
Luke can fucking break a bed. He can't break a table.
Well, that was when he was a Jess. She could
Yeah,
handle-
they didn't need to hold back.
or like he could handle her. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just very happy that Claire survived. I'm happy that all the sidekicky characters survived.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
And
do.
absolutely no important characters died.
Well,
Sorry,
an
Stick.
important character lost an arm.
Well, I expected Stick to die, and Misty with the fucking arm again.
You know what though? Okay.
Right,
you just
that she
reminded
got
me.
shot. You're right.
Yeah. With all that, but you just reminded me, brought up a good point. We were talking about the 5 fingers of the hand and everything, and Harold Meacham, how he came back a couple times, and he's weak-minded, whatever like that. There's something more physically special about these 5 because Bakuto takes 3 bullets to the fucking chest and keeps going like nothing
It was
happened.
pretty okay.
Yeah.
He was fine. So-
their insides must just be held together with that stuff. Like it's just been so long. There must not
Or
be much left.
something. Because he was fine. He didn't even stop. He took
No.
Misty's arm off, and he was still going at it until Colleen, caught him in the neck and then took his head off.
Yeah.
Which is really satisfying to watch.
It was.
The look on his face when his throat was slashed, oh, is that gonna kill you now? And then the head comes off. I'm like, that's gonna do it though.
There it
Mhm.
is.
And then we have Misty on the floor.
Bleeding out again.
I don't know, it kind of loses the impact that it had back when we saw it in Luke Cage because you already did this,
I didn't
and
even
you're teasing it again.
I mean, you already did this with the bullet and she was bleeding out. Now you did it with the lack of arm.
Well, now
Well,
we
they
know
didn't
that she
focus
needs to
on it
replace
so
the
much.
arm with
No.
something.
But I think John, you yelled at me because Misty got her arm cut off, and then 3 seconds later, Colleen killed Bakuto, and I went like, yes, because he was dead. And John's like, she just lost her arm. I'm like, yeah, she'll be fine. Bakuto's dead though.
Whatever.
She'll be fine. She survived that already.
But her arm's still not there. So.
I know it, and I kind of wish they gave me a couple more seconds to be like, "Oh no, Misty!" But it was like immediately into Bakudo dead, and I got excited.
Because they knew that it would have impact it would have had because they already did this, and that kind of upsets me. But I think they'll actually go through with this because like they did release a photo of Misty with her bionic arm.
Yeah.
It's kind of lame.
Like literally the day after I watched the last episode, they released that picture.
Well, look, maybe it's just I forgot about the bullet thing, but I was like, no,
yeah,
it
it's kind of a shocker. Yeah. Now, something I want to bring up. The Daredevil, like all these series, Daredevil and Jessica Jones especially, they mentioned the incident quite a few times. You know, the aliens invading. There's a whole bunch of hints all over Daredevil season 1 about it. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, are we finally going to get one of these series referenced in another MCU show? Because, you know, it's the middle of New York City. A building went the fuck down.
Oh, you know, this is normal. Things happen like that.
Like, there was no alien invasion, no terrorist attack, no nothing. Just like, you know, to the bystander, there was an earthquake, and then a few days later, a whole building just collapses straight down on itself.
Yeah.
Because of construction under the building.
Yeah, and that's something coming into the show. I was like, it's got to be something big, something that's going to be noticed by other pieces of the MCU, and then it's like, oh no, just nobody knows about it. The building collapsed. It was written off as an accident. And I'm just like, damn it.
It kind of loses, and I want to talk about specifically. We talked about like the villains individually, but I want to talk about the Hand as a whole, and how ineffective they are as villains. Because at the end of the series, what did they really do? They just wanted Dragon Bones, and they wanted to live to see another day.
I thought you were going to say they wanted the Dragon Balls. I mean...
No, well maybe.
They wanted the Dragon Bones so they could, you know, live to see another day and live another 1,000 years or so. But what have they done?
The city? They didn't want to destroy the city. I mean, they make it sound like, you know, like they have, and like they don't care that it gets destroyed, but they didn't do that, and didn't sound like this plan of theirs didn't really involve the city being destroyed. They weren't really killing like masses of people, so
not directly. That wasn't their goal.
No.
But
yeah, well, not really. But
right, but
they didn't. What was it that they were doing that
over the last
entire city?
Well, over the what was it they were doing? They were to mine all those Dragon Bones, and apparently, you know,
city would have
Lower Manhattan would have collapsed.
Well, I mean, I think he's referring to as far as like what was their menacing? How are they menacing Manhattan outside of that, right?
How are they? You know, in the shadows, like hell, Madam in Daredevil season 1, Madame Gao's heroin trade, you know, and all their dealings with Fisk. Same with Nobu trying to bring the Black Sky in, smuggle it in. All the people they've had killed or maimed, and not even just New York City, just all the cities throughout the centuries. Like they've hinted they were the cause of a couple of cities being completely destroyed.
And anyone who had anything to do with or who knew too much, they had killed, like the architect.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were gonna have him killed.
He beat them to it, but
he would have died anyway.
Elektra was there to kill him.
Yes, she was.
I mean, I think of them like the Mafia, but like with a larger ulterior motive. Because obviously they need control, they need power and money and consolidation of all that just to meet their ends. You know.
Right. And they operate in the shadows and they keep things quiet. And that's why at the beginning when Alexandra tells Gao, you know, change in plans, do this, and she's like, it won't be quiet. Like, you know, we've been doing this, like, shh, this whole time. You know, if we change gears now, it's not going to be shh anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, people are going to start noticing.
If they did take their time, would the city not be affected?
I don't know, but I mean...
No, I think it would have... I mean, Lower Manhattan still would have collapsed.
But I think there wouldn't have been that earthquake.
No, there probably wouldn't have been. And that was their whole reasoning for working with Fisk, because he gave them that hush-hush factor. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you know, that was... great acting in that series, but he gave the impression that Gao gave him the fucking heebie-jeebies.
I think Gao gives everybody the heebie-jeebies.
Right,
Well,
but
except
even
for Alexander.
gives-
Alexander don't give a fuck.
Oh,
yeah, but even
known each
Wilson
other.
Fisk, the kingpin, the guy who's not scared of anything, he his skin crawls when Gao's around, even
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I lost my original point.
I don't know. Something about what?
The incident.
Whatever.
Well, something
I want-
about what were they doing besides killing lots of people?
Yeah, killing lots
I
of
want
people.
to. I want to talk about the incident. Why the
Sure.
fuck do they keep calling it the incident? Like, are people so traumatized that they can't say fucking aliens came out of the sky?
I mean,
think the incident is more concise than fucking aliens came out of the sky.
I know, but like everyone just calls, but like just the way people talk about like the incident. Like,
I mean,
are you people
And I mean,
fucking
when they
afraid?
refer to the incident, when they refer to the whole thing with Ultron, they just call it Sokovia. Like they don't
right.
give
Now-
it this big name. It's just
You say the incident, and, this was a major worldwide event. You say the incident. What pops into head? Portal opening in the sky above Stark Tower, aliens invading,
yeah.
people getting blown up, shit collapsing, all that. It's like, think
But I mean
in real.
that wasn't worldwide. That was just Manhattan.
But
True,
think
but-
of it. Think of
But
it
it did
this way.
change the world.
Think
I
of
think
it this
John
way.
got my point. Go.
When we, even as us in the real world, when we say something like Pearl Harbor, like it's just implied, like we know what that means, right? Like we know that
Yeah.
Japan attacked, but like if we say Chernobyl, we know exactly what that means. You know what I mean?
I was
So
going to
like,
use 9/11, but
or that, yeah. So like, it in universe it makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But,
a
like,
simple term.
It also, you could extrapolate that, like maybe a lot of people don't exactly know what happened.
Maybe a lot of
unless,
people
like,
refuse to believe it was aliens.
Which
Right.
is, well, then what the fuck would it be?
There's
well,
plenty.
no,
I mean,
exactly.
A
Yeah.
portal was in the sky. How did,
No, I know.
No,
But-
we get that, but
yeah.
the common folk of like
a fucking
Nebraska.
space whale with armor on flew through the city.
No, but John's right. The common folk from, say, Nebraska or the Midwest, anybody running around the streets of New York when that happened, they know it happened. Like they were
And
there.
that actually, this whole conversation gives a whole lot more sense to the fact that there's a kid in Luke Cage selling the incident DVDs on the street. Like if it's
Mhm.
not something that's, if it's something that the collective unconsciousness is trying to forget, having like video of it be a commodity makes a little more sense.
And you know what?
Well-
Maybe the government's trying to do a kind of covery-uppy thing, because if he has to sell bootleg DVDs of incident footage on the street, then
it's not
maybe it's been
available.
scrubbed.
The
Yeah.
thing about that is that you can try to cover it up. It's not gonna work
Of course not.
because people know.
No.
Even
I
if
gotta
the like average Joe in Wales doesn't know about the incident per se, they know about the worldwide things that did happen.
Mhm.
And the government can cover up whatever the hell they want, but the government is working with superheroes, or some of them anyway. So
True.
people need to accept the fact, and like some people in this series in particular, and like a lot of the other shows, like with Agents of Shield, and some of the other like smaller MCU movies, people still treat everything like nothing has changed, and like that superheroes
Yeah.
are like a out of the box, out of the blue new thing. But no, it people, and I know it's hard to transition because like everything's been so normal up to that point, but like the world is changed now, and it's changed forever in this universe. People need to accept that now.
And,
So when
but
people say things like the incident, it kind of upsets me a bit, where it's like people kind of refuse to acknowledge that it happened, and then there's some people who are just like, it didn't fucking happen.
But by calling it the incident, they're referring to an alien invasion. So it's
But it's almost like
Yeah.
it's like Voldemort, where they're afraid to say it.
Nah.
I don't know.
I mean, the whole thing with Voldemort being afraid to say it, it was
There's
considered.
a reason for that.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Well, no,
say his
there
name,
wasn't
he
a
might
reason
show
for
up.
that. Everyone said it in that. Everyone said it in those fucking movies, and nothing happened.
Hell, and there was a major point of the 7th book. You say his name, and people will show up to, grab you.
I know. Up until that point, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's I don't know. It's not something that like
Mm-hmm.
it's just because like I said, when you say Pearl Harbor, everyone kind of implicitly understands what that is. You don't really have to have a conversation about like how, man, it was crazy how like the port got bombed and shit. Like it's like, man, how crazy it was when those aliens erupted. Like you also have to realize this was, I mean, even in our time, this was a long time ago. Like for them, it was,
2 weeks
Jesus. No, it was years ago.
2006,
Yeah, that was 10 years ago for even in the MCU. So like,
I think. Wait.
10.
2012.
But
was a-
anyway, it
5 years
like
ago.
it's at the point like even like when
Oh,
Claire's
sorry.
interacting with any of the
2012.
characters, like she's pretty like blasé about like, oh, you punch things, oh, you have unbreakable skin, like, oh, his fist glows. Like Claire's like, yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, I just saw it. I mean, there's a giant green man traipsing down the streets of Manhattan, jumping on alien space cruisers. So you having super strength, Jessica, is totally fine with me.
The Norse god of thunder was just flying through the streets. I'm
thanks.
good.
Right.
Which, how many normal people actually believe he's really
True. There's that.
Exactly.
Wow.
But
But whatever.
there's a
But-
great point that was brought up in chat, and I wanted to talk about this at the beginning of the episode, and I
Okay.
forgot. And Red Bandit in chat says, I think had my favorite opening of all the shows. I am with you on
Oh,
that.
And
Yes.
because it did a great job. Every intro had their colors,
Now,
and this brought all of their colors together.
and I just want to say how brilliant, like Red Daredevil, great, and I subconsciously associate Jessica Jones with the color blue, and I went back and watched, and like it makes sense now. And Iron Fist, his fist is green. That makes just fucking sense, and so is his outfit in the comics. And Luke Cage has that ridiculous yellow whatever the hell he was wearing.
Well, I think it was the yellow shirt,
Oh yeah, it was the
and
yellow
then
shirt.
Inside of his hoodie.
tiara,
So I
and
love
his
the color
hoodie
code.
has yellow on the inside too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and you saw in this every scene that like that character is focused on,
Mhm.
their color was very vibrantly there.
And,
And even when like two characters
and
are
when they
together,
were,
the restaurant,
the restaurant
Yeah.
had all colors.
the restaurant
all
had everything.
but like when Matt went over by the window, it was very red by the window. But then when Luke walked over, shades of yellow came into the scene when Luke came over to talk to him. So like it was very, very beautifully done.
They're emanating auras of colored light wherever they walk. It's like Matt walks into the corner's now red.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Jessica in her season was very associated with purple because I was gonna call him the purple guy. Wrong.
The purple,
Purple
man.
guy.
The
wrong
different
thing.
type.
Different thing.
Dude.
So in her intro, and it was purple. And I like that in this they showed a little bit of purple and then the blue in the intro to be like that was Jessica, but Jessica's actually blue. Like they're giving her her own color, not associated with Kilgrave.
Which would be really bad.
hmm
I like it.
Hey, can we
Y'all-
talk about this restaurant that I want to visit because the food looks really good?
So
Where
it'd be
we have
like-
we have a lot of character moments in this restaurant that we
Yes.
spend like 3 episodes in.
It's like I agreed to spend, I agreed to pay for the next 6 months of his rent.
And you might need to pay for the entire building.
Yeah, and
Probably now, yeah. Since
and I
Jessica
ordered
threw a car through it.
I ordered all the food in his kitchen.
4 of everything.
4 of everything.
Hey, they ate it.
I think
Gee.
Danny
Danny
ate it.
Well, Danny ate it. You're right. Yeah, Danny ate it.
I don't know, man, because none of them were eating. I was like, if that were me, free fucking food,
Like,
I would have ate that shit.
and the food got cold because they were there for like 3 episodes.
A
So
long
it's probably
time.
all gross and nasty.
hmm
And I want to
So-
talk about how Iron Fist like left halfway through the season. Like he didn't really leave, but like he was kind of like out of the picture, and it was basically Jessica Jones, Luke, and Matt with Iron Fist on the side.
Well, they couldn't take Iron Fist out. He had, he was the Hand's objective. They get him, they lose.
He was
So
he was in a naughty boy timeout.
And he was being a prick, so he was in naughty boy timeout.
Yeah, I mean that's
It was. He's like, but no, it's my job. It's like, dude, literally, if they get you, it's game over. So sit the fuck down.
you know who.
But
I'm
I'm the
tough.
immortal Iron Fist.
Do you know how tough I am? I'm so tough.
Look at how glowy my fist is. Yeah, that's the problem.
Right, and
Oh, the immortal Iron Fist.
I mean, yeah, we've talked about Danny to death. He's Danny.
He
Danny, go to Danny. I did want to talk about kind of like the epilogues for each character that
Yes.
we kind of got.
Well, let's
Like-
talk about the Thing. Daredevil dies.
A little.
Dies.
Yeah,
He died a little.
I for 1 second did not believe he was dead.
No, absolutely.
Well, no.
I did. I got sad.
No.
But they announced season 3 like before this came out.
I forgot.
You can't
I
have
forgot things
Daredevil
and I got
season-
sad about them. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You can't have Daredevil season 3 if the main character is not going to be in the whole fucking
Emotionally
series.
wise, he was dead. Production wise, he's not dead.
No.
Unless Foggy somehow goes through rigorous, intense combat training and puts on the suit.
Oh, he's not going to do that.
Oh, Foggy. Make it happen. No.
Well, so do we think he died, or do we think he was like resurrected by the goop?
He didn't
No.
die.
I don't think he died.
No, I don't think he died.
Because he was all bandaged up in that hospital bed being cared for by a
Ooh.
nun. Where the fuck is he?
He
The
is
nun's mom.
he's in the nunnery that I think raised him, and
Yeah,
then that Maggie is his mom.
Ah.
Maggie's. Yeah. He's with his
Oh
mom.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Okay.
And
So who
this
else
stuff-
survived?
Huh?
Oh, Madam
Who
Gao.
else?
Probably
survived.
Gal and probably Elektra.
All of them.
Maybe
here's
just Madam
here's
Gao.
the problem. Okay.
Like, and you know what?
The shaft, it
Go ahead.
falls on all of them. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, Matt's not dead. And then, a couple minutes pass, and I'm like, Matt's not dead. More minutes pass. Matt's not fucking dead. Like,
And then, but wait, well, when Karen and Foggy started crying, I was like, oh.
Oh, and then this whole emotional scene is going to get retconned in the future.
And yeah, this whole emotional scene is going to get retconned in the future and all this stuff. But I need Gao to be alive because
Yeah.
she
Well-
was weasel in like the exact the same scene in Iron Fist in the closing minutes or whatever. She's wiggling her fingers into like the brain of Davos.
yo, I forgot about that.
Like the two of them are they're at the same kind of back to back having one of those clandestine conversations.
Oh, I like that.
Mm,
So, she's got to show back up to be like the puppet master for Davos.
yeah. Because Davos
will.
is another idiot child, so.
Mhm. They set that up, with her doing that too much for them to have killed her
Hmm.
and be
Well-
done with Gao.
Yeah, and frankly, I mean, it would be. She's really the only member of the Hand left. I mean,
Even if
is
Mur-
Murakami alive?
we don't know. He's got
I don't
a
think
rod
so.
through his chest, but
He could be
Uh,
alive.
he still has his
Didn't
head.
the elevator fall on him?
Well, we didn't actually see it
Yeah,
fall. We
but
just
We
see
didn't see him
Gao
die.
Yeah, but,
standing
like-
over him.
But the things can fall. You don't have to be decapitated to lose your head.
But
No,
I think
yeah,
the
Things,
but
things-
it can
they
be
can get
smushed.
crushed. Viscera everywhere.
The
it's really
point
gross.
is,
Yeah.
we didn't see him be decapitated, so there is a chance that he is alive with Gao somewhere.
I just think. Well, I personally think Madame Gao is the only one out of all the Hand. Madame Gao is the only one that did survive. I think, and I would like that if she was like the last remaining, not member of the Hand, the last remaining like finger of the Hand, rather. And I do think Elektra is alive. Don't know where the fuck she is.
Well,
but
yeah, I
she's
mean, if Matt survives.
running around in her proper costume somewhere.
Mhm.
And someone said something, and I'm like this. I wanted to slap the bitch for how stupid they fucking sounded. But when when Jessica, Luke, and Danny came back to the compound, and all their sidekicks like, "Yay, you're back!" And then Karen and Foggy were waiting for Matt to come through the door, and he didn't come through the door. Somebody said in a review that they were doing they said, okay, the best actor in this series was what the fuck is Daredevil's actor's name?
Charlie
And
Cox.
that's
Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
Charlie Cox. Someone said, I give so much praise to Charlie Cox. He is the best actor in this series, and the best scene and like the best possible thing that he did was when he didn't walk through that door.
What?
You are one of those. Okay, so I'm not going to say who said that because I don't want to put them on blast, but like you are one of those people who needs to stop existing
What?
because you are a detriment to this society, and I am sorry someone needs to kill you.
That was the best
Oh,
acting.
that's one step too far.
'cause That was the best acting he did was when he didn't walk through that door. So he's
Well-
either insulting
Was-
Charlie Cox
was
because
that
he's a
person
terrible
insult-
actor and he's
yeah.
being an
No,
idiot,
they were genuine
or he's
Oh.
praising
because
that's not
they
acting, that's
because like they were crying. I mean, like they're on the verge of crying when they were talking about that scene,
Hmm.
and I'm pretty sure it wasn't a joke.
you can't act if you're not in a fucking scene.
Well, no. His presence was very strong in that scene, even though he wasn't.
It
there.
is not the
That's-
actor's choice to not show up in a scene that they're not in.
No, of course, but that's about the most I can give that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think whoever had the saddest epilogue was probably Jess.
Hey,
she was just
maybe we can go get
back in
coffee
the
sometime.
bar. Yeah, I'm like, no, Jess,
Well-
you can't get coffee with Luke.
Well, Jess like uses coffee in the proper way it's supposed to be used.
Yeah, she
No,
and
fuck that. No, she doesn't.
No, I think she actually legit.
I think she means she wants to go on a date with him, I think is what she means.
I
no,
doubt
I'm
it.
with. Okay, two things. I'm with Cleo on this and Jake. She meant go get a cup of coffee. Like actually go
'Cause she
get
actually
a cup
drinks
of
coffee. There is whiskey
No.
in her coffee, but she
No.
drinks it.
No.
But she
Wanted a
wants,
two-way ticket to Pound Town.
Okay,
yes, I'm saying
But
that,
when they
she
do
wanted
it,
to
they say
start
that
it.
they're going to do it. They don't
But-
beat around the bush.
Right, exactly. So for her to say go get a cup of coffee, she means go get a cup of coffee and then get the two-way ticket to Pound Town.
and that's the problem because Luke didn't say he was with
Didn't
Claire.
say-
That's the
didn't say
fucking
no.
problem.
Yeah, you're right. That
I'm gonna
is.
bang my hands on the table.
And they bang something else on the table.
No!
But
But you're right. He didn't say I'm with Claire or I'm with
He-
someone. He just like
Just walked away.
that was
I'm
worse.
upset that he's going to cheat on Claire.
and this is bad. This is not good.
Not good.
Luke,
Bad,
everyone,
bad,
everyone
bad.
makes mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. This is one mistake I don't want you to make, Luke, because then I'm going to be very upset. And I don't think it's in Luke's character to cheat on
Yeah.
Is
Claire.
it?
But something may happen with their relationship somehow.
Yeah.
Well,
The fact that he seems to be in a relationship with Claire, goes to see Jessica, which he's allowed to do, but then when she says we'll go get coffee, he doesn't say, "Oh no, I got
Can't
a
do
girl."
that, man.
It's like he doesn't.
But like,
And he-
there was
and
a
then
lot of
she-
flirty
Oh.
moments between them. Like when he landed on top, when he was on top of her, protecting her from the bullets in the
Yeah.
last fight scene. Like, just like old times.
Oh.
know.
Well, she
Yeah.
was on top of you, rather, because you would have, like, killed her.
Right. Whatever. But it left it open, which scares me a little
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they have a kid.
in the comics.
In the
Yeah,
comics.
And Squirrel Girl babysits their kid.
which I'm okay
They
with.
If they want to go that route, then
If you want to give me
eventually
Squirrel Girl, I am all about that.
played by Anna Kendrick,
She's over there.
possibly.
Yes. But we did see Jess reopened Alias.
Yes.
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 She's officially
She-
back in business.
And I like how she had the cardboard over the door, and you think, oh, fuck, the window fucking broke again, but no, it
Yeah.
didn't. It didn't.
The window will break episode 1 of season 2.
Oh, it has to. It has
She
to.
still doesn't fix the fucking hole in her kitchen.
Well, that's expensive.
Malcolm is helping. Malcolm started by fixing the bullet holes.
But there's
Oh
a giant ass
my
hole
God.
across this way that leads into the bedroom. We don't want to
Right, you're not going to be able to fix that with some spackle.
He was like, I've kind of wedged myself into her her operations. I love that.
And it's good that you want to help, but like, don't change her locks
Word.
and then keep the key for yourself. Like, I understand like where you're coming from, dude, but like it's her apartment.
Yes.
I
Still
understand
kinda
you're
messed up.
But
helping and all
she
that.
gave him a key. He just never
he-
gave it back when she asked for it
Well,
back.
no. Well, no, she didn't. She didn't give it to him. He kept it
Yeah.
when he made a spare
And
one from the
to be
lock
also-
that he put in.
To
Well,
also be fair, he never needed a key because throughout all of season 1 of Jessica Jones, the door didn't have a lock.
yeah, or
Yeah.
it was broken.
Either
Door
it
didn't
didn't
have a
have a lock or it didn't have a window so you could just reach in and unlock it. So there was no safety
Oh
with
yeah,
that door.
I
But
forgot
still.
about
Still, privacy, dude.
Yeah.
Well-
And then,
that.
Like, out of all the people who you could barge in, do you think Jessica's the best person to like break into an apartment?
Well,
Not break in,
I think
but-
he sort of sees it like when he was in trouble, when he was on drugs, she would come in and help him.
Well, see, the problem.
He
See, the
sees
problem
it-
with that is Jessica somewhat
Yeah.
has her shit together.
Uh,
She's not on drugs. How about
She's
that?
not on
debate.
drugs. You're right.
she's not on drugs,
She's
but
one step
debatable if she
above
has her
that.
shit together.
drinking heavily.
Yeah,
I mean,
drink the pain away.
but anyway, I think I don't know. I'm glad they at least set her up for like her season 2. Like, probably it's going to start off with her, being a
Taking
detective,
cases,
an
yeah.
investigator again.
Mhm.
So-
which she's great at, and I miss seeing
Yeah.
her do all that detective shit. How she changes her voices when she talks on phones, trying to get what she
Yeah,
wants.
and
Hi!
we got some of that. Yeah, like when
Oh
she went
my
to see
God.
the architect and stuff.
She went into the architect's place and was like, I'm thinking standing desks, and all I could think of was I own a standing desk. Like,
Thinking standing desks and this, and there has to be a smoothie bar.
and I'm like, can I work there at your imaginary place of business?
Which,
And-
but
and
you know
really-
it wouldn't be like that. She wouldn't have fucking a smoothie bar.
Yeah.
Kudos to Kristen Ritter because my God, does she sell all of Jessica so
yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially
and
that
and the
stuff.
characters that Jessica makes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's my grandfather. He's like senile.
I just really need the number. I think he was trying to call me.
I mean, it's superb. And
And
what was
think
it?
about it. No one, if she was on the phone with someone who maybe knew about her, no one would ever think that that was her.
Oh.
Perfect.
So what was it with Luke? Really, just like Foggy showed up and was like, "Hey, you're not going back to prison. Bye."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really it, right?
Yeah.
So we don't really know where Luke's headed.
Well, yeah, I think in the beginning they mentioned like Mariah and Shades and how they're doing
Oh, right,
their,
right, right.
they're doing their shit. So
He's just
you
gonna go back
gotta
to
tell
Harlem.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made reference to Bobby Fish, who I loved in Luke's series, and I wish he would have been in this series. Unfortunately, he wasn't, but he got a mention, so I'm glad they acknowledged that he still exists, and he was like the coolest character on that series.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool.
I'm sorry, which one was he?
Oh, he's the guy who always played chess with Luke
Yeah.
in the window of
Yes!
Hopscotch.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He's the one who found the file, like, of the evidence exonerating Luke, that Mariah left there
Which-
after what's his fucking
why
nuts
you
decided to
why you
blow the
didn't
place
go
up.
back to get it? I don't know why.
She was a little more distracted.
Oh yeah, with some things in the back of her car.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Karen. Can we talk about Karen and Foggy and how I
Yes.
don't like them in this series?
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead. You do your thing, and I'll defend them.
Okay, yeah. So at the end of Daredevil season 2, he tells Karen that he's Daredevil, and he's put away that part of his life. Now Foggy and Karen, treat his other persona as an addiction, but it's not. I get that's the metaphor that they're trying to go for, but if you really think about it, it's not an addiction. It's who he is. And that's who he's always going to be for as long as he possibly, can keep this up.
Mhm.
So when they talk to Matt as oh, you're relapsing again, like you were fucking so close to getting your life back on track. It's like, fuck you. His life is not off track. This is who he is. It's what he's always done. It's what he knows, and it's what he feels like he has to do. He's legitimately helping people. He's not hurting anyone. Well, he's hurting people, but like the bad people anyway.
Yeah, I think the problem is he's not. He does lose control, and season 1 it was not. He did it. He did it well. In season 2, he lost his way. He abandoned the case that he convinced Foggy to take. He was a shitty friend. He was a shitty person in season 2. And I mean, we come into Defenders and we see Matt take this case for this crippled boy who was wronged, and he did it pro bono, and I'm like, this is my Matt. Where were you season 2? Like, who?
Where were you when you were with Claire? I don't know.
Where were you season 2? You were stuck with Elektra.
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
I think,
And
and
notice-
I don't think it's Daredevil. I think it's Elektra. Elektra's the problem.
Exactly. Notice how how he changed this series when she showed back up in his
Yeah.
life.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I will
Okay.
admit that I'm not the biggest fan of Matt, with his attitude and how he treats other people. The thing is, Karen and Foggy don't realize that you are asking him to put away himself.
Yeah.
And you're treating a big part of himself like it's a bad thing. In some cases, it is. In regards to you two, what they don't realize is that while it's affecting them, they're asking him to not be himself.
Mhm.
And that's where the problem is.
Because it's not, you're right, it's not a costume. He puts it on to do his work,
Yeah, he puts it on to hide his identity. But
it's still him. No, you're right, that I agree with. But think of it from their perspective. They can't tell. They just saw how shitty he got in season 2. That's all they see.
Mhm.
I
And that's
love
where I
them
think-
dearly, and
Yes.
they're the best. So
Yeah, they're not the best.
Foggy's the
but
best. Excuse me.
Claire is the best. And
I mean,
we'll all see it.
yeah,
I think Claire.
Foggy's
yeah,
also
this
the
is where-
best.
This is why I see the problem with them two more, is because Claire does understand with
Yeah.
Luke, her relationship with Luke, and she like, basically tells him, like, after, like, they fuck on the coffee table, which has 2 different meanings now. And like Misty comes to go get him, she's like, yeah, go ahead, like, do your thing. Like, I get it. You
Yeah.
have people to save, so go.
Which, how awkward. As soon as they're done boning, does Misty walk up?
And they don't even try to hide it.
No. Luke comes
At
to
that
the
point-
door shirtless. Like. Just
Yep.
classy.
Very classy.
That's really all I have to say. You guys got anything else to say?
Are there any Easter eggs we missed?
You know what?
A lot, but
I saw
I'm
I saw
sure.
Officer Stan Lee on his poster,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
but aside from that, there's probably plenty I'm not thinking of right now.
We
but-
do have Colleen and Misty in their little interactions, planting the seeds for their budding friendship later.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
And we
Yeah.
do get Luke and Danny. Still don't know how I feel about those two. I mean, I love Luke. Danny, on the other hand, it's Danny. But
Well, and the one thing he learned in this season, he learned it from Luke. I think if he teams up with Luke more, he's gonna learn some stuff and maybe grow as a person.
and maybe we can beat the shit out of him, and then that's how he'll learn.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And hopefully Colleen learns too, because yeah, she went through a bit of character slaughter this series.
I mean, I definitely think that, because, and I know you guys, this is when I was having microphone issues, but you guys were talking about Colleen and how she has a similar arc to Danny, but I think that the difference is hers, like, travels further, you know? Like, she doesn't end up any further than he does, but she had more of a journey than him emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, she's still ultimately the better character,
I
but
agree.
his bad traits kind of rubbed off on her.
Maybe.
Probably.
Okay, well, let's talk about segues into the next few seasons. that these characters are going to go, because we know we're getting Daredevil season 3. What that exactly is going to be about, I don't know. We have his mom, and he's in this convent now, so don't really know where they're going to go with that. Are we going to pick back up with Madame Gao and what the Hand might be doing, or are we going to do that storyline with like Elektra possibly taking over the Hand, or maybe he taking over the Hand? I don't know.
I really don't know. Like, I can't think that far ahead because the next thing we're getting is the Punisher.
Yes.
Honestly, what I can see, what I want more than anything in the world is for Punisher and Ghost Rider to team up.
But
We can't do that yet, but it's possible.
Yes,
it would be
it
nice.
would be nice. Because that's
would be-
all I can think of, like, with Punisher doing his thing. I'm like, man, Ghost
He'd be
Rider is like the LA version of
Then they
Punisher.
get matching leather jackets with a skull, and then they paint fire. And
Like, it would work great, but, you know, that would require them to cross over some major stuff.
Fucking do it.
they're not gonna do that anytime soon. They might do it like 20 years later, but they're not there yet.
I
I mean,
don't know. I
we're
think
gonna-
everything's up for grabs as soon as Infinity Wars hits. Like,
I was
there's-
just gonna say
everything
that.
is up in the air.
Infinity War is going to hit, and that's like another incident level shit that there's going to be no way around.
Which Jessica and Luke and Danny and Matt are going to be in Infinity War.
Oh.
Everybody's in Infinity War.
Well, everybody. But when it was announced that they were going to be on there, people were like, shit, like they're actually doing this.
Well,
Okay,
that's
that's
good. That's good to know.
But no Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters whatsoever on that list.
Well, whatever. Maybe eventually.
And no Peggy Carter either, which makes me really upset.
I'll,
Zombie Peggy Carter.
Zombie Peggy could be... no, actually, no, I don't want that. Because, like, while I would love to have her back, she'd be a zombie, and then Cap would have to kill her, and it's going to be so fucking heartbreaking, and I can't handle that right now. Oh, look, there's my heart. It's on the floor. I'm going to have to go clean that up. See, we don't want that.
Jake, look, puppies. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Puppies.
No, I don't care about the fucking puppies. Okay,
Think about puppies.
No, see, Peggy's right there. She's staring at me. She's on my desk.
She's right over there. Yeah. It's okay. Look how happy he is. All right. Any other last words, fellas?
Nah.
Huh? Beautiful. John, where can the people find you?
You can find me at No More No More on Twitter, waiting for goddamn November so I can watch Frank Castle punch things and shoot things.
It's in November? That's fucking soon. All right. Mike, where can the people find you?
also waiting for the same thing on Twitter there at Thilladrin. I'm about right, yeah.
Jake?
You can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter tweeting with the life at ToNowhereLand. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhereland Society.
I missed that.
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter and other places. You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts. This is all of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
There'll be way more guns to talk about.
And a lot of blood.
Yeah. Well, Inhumans is next, so
And less fucking ninjas.
buckle the fuck up.
I'm sick of fucking ninjas.
Oh shit, ninjas!
Invisible ninjas. Almost.
Ooh, there was a good couple times there where my computer was just like, please stop doing so much on me. I am saddened.
Probably what happened. Your sound drivers probably crashed.
Oh my god, my sound card is fucking terrible too, so.
So my yeah, so you're just talking and all of a sudden it's just like
Oh Okay,
but only
Like,
when you
well, that-
open
like,
only when you
a
open
butt?
your mouth.
I understand,
After-
but the fact that all three of you were silent and unmoving made me think I froze.
But the
so I was
thing
like,
is,
guys,
the problem
anything?
was we didn't know what and it was either John or myself. One of us decided to speak, and that's when I realized, oh shit, it's not. I thought it was the whole thing.
Yeah, we didn't know.
And to be perfectly honest, I thought it was my end for a second. And I didn't want to say anything in case it would cause like some ridiculous feedback loop. And then when I'm watching your mouth move and I'm coinciding the static with your mouth, and I'm like, oh shit, it's her microphone. And that's when it's like, okay.
That's happened once before. I should just look into getting a new sound card because I can't. Because a problem I also have is that I can't plug my headphones in to the computer directly because it shuts my speakers off or it shuts my mic off. Whatever. It can't handle all the things I have plugged into it, which infuriates me. So I need a better thing.
I need an audio interface.
Yeah. Can I put that inside my computer?
What?
An audio interface?
Sure, I think.
Because I don't want
Okay.
anything else outside. I have too much outside my computer. Like, it's gonna go
Oh, like,
in it.
But yeah, there's plenty of internal sound cards and stuff like that.
It sounds like from the chat, doesn't sound like they could hear that. They just heard silence.
Well, no, I think the initial thing they did
But nobody
here-
made mention of. No one made the mention of like this sounds like a bus is driving over the refrigerator. But
You're right. But the thing is, I saw on my, right here, I saw it spike. So they definitely heard it. Whether it bothered anyone is another story.
Well, I'll tell you on my end, it was very unpleasant.
Yeah, well, that it happened once before. I just didn't expect it to happen in the middle of recording.
it sounded like Luke and Claire for a moment.
All right,
Pounding
over
it.
here, cat. If you keep moving plastic to where I can't reach it so you could chew on it without consequences, I may murder you.
Bye, chat. Thank you all for being
Bye,
here.
chat.
We really appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.